Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, ready for Battle World on a Sunday night. Corey Anders with me, Kill and Eric. And guys, tonight is wow. We're going all out. This is going to be a really special one that we've never done before. How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Happy to be here, dude.
All right. For you guys in the chat, thanks for coming in to hang out with us. We appreciate it. We think this is going to be a really fun discussion, and we've got tons of categories. We're probably not even going to get to all the categories, but we'll see. Just to say, hey, real quick, we got Paula in the house. We got Scott. Val's in the house. What's going on, Val? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Pierre's in the chat. All right. Good to see you. And Val's already got the links in the chat ready to rock. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's see. We got Julie. Hey, Julie. And we got Sarah.
Hey.
Sarah, thanks for being here. We appreciate that. Hollywood guy in the house. What's going on, Hollywood guy? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight. And we got Rachel. Hey, Rachel.
Hey.
Hope you are feeling better. Good to have you here. Jerry's in the house. What's up, Jerry? Good to have you here as well. All right. And we got Gene. Gene's in the house with us on a Sunday night. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Spoof. Hey, Spoof. Good to see you. And we got Danielle in the house as well. What's going on? And Alan. Hey, Alan. What's going on? And like Julie said, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us. We'd appreciate it. And it definitely gets the stream out to other folks that might enjoy it. Elm Street in the house. What's going on? All right. Okay, so this is the first time we've done a battle world like this, so it's pretty interesting. So Eric, real quick, let's just give a quick overview of the first contender or contenders that we're going to be talking about.
All right. Well, a lot can happen in over 45 years. Back in 1978, a simple film about a young, disturbed boy killing his sister and escaping an institution later to kill again blew up into something that no one could have ever predicted. What was thought of to be just one simple movie is now a world full of interesting things. We have sisters, nieces, Cults of Thorn, Men in Black, Dangertainment, remakes, multiple alternate timelines, and even Josh Hartnett's uncombable hair. Say what you want, this collection of movies has the type of following that perhaps no other horror icon has or will ever have. There's a reason why he's the longest reigning Battle World champion in history. This is Michael Myers, and he's representing the Halloween franchise.
All right. Look at the respect he put on him, man. He's
Hey.
All right.
I give it when it's due.
But you forgot about White Horse. You named all the cliches and things, but I was waiting for White Horse.
Hey, you know what I was waiting for? I was waiting for what the mask wasn't even on.
I showed enough respect, okay?
Panhandling through the fields of Haddonfield. Okay.
Riding dirty.
Always riding dirty. Hey, from Illinois to California, baby. Hey, let me stop. We're gonna go way off track if we start this. Look, in corner number 2, there's no doubt when you talk about one of the most legendary characters of all time, played by an absolute horror living legend in Robert Englund. You can go no further than this franchise started by the late, great Wes Craven in 1984, who shopped around this idea for years until Bob Shea and New Line Cinema came in to save the day and maybe at the same time saved horror. Wes Craven has done this 3 times in his career. This is the second time to start a brand new way of looking at horror with a dream demon who went into the real world, told people they were all his children, faced off against the Dream Warriors, faced off against Alice, came back for the child, then was going into Looney Tuneville. Wes Craven brought him back. He faced off against our favorite hockey masked killer from New Jersey. You know who I'm talking about. And then Jackie Earl Haley tried his best to save the day, but ultimately couldn't. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about who I called Marty Halston in my latest video. If you know, you know. but we know him as Freddy Krueger, played by the great, I should say, Robert Englund, representing Elm Street.
All right, nice.
All right. Now listen, before we even started, Rachel's coming in with a $5 super chat saying, wow. Hey, look, she said 5 points to Josh Hartnett's hair.
I shouldn't have said anything. Jeez.
Wow. Hey, look,
buy himself a comb.
All right. So listen, thank you, Rachel. As you guys know, we're going to go category by category, giving a point to the franchise. Okay. So I want to explain this. This is franchise versus franchise. So we are talking about all of the movies in each franchise. Okay. We're going to give the point to the franchise that we think deserves it. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think. We will not get to everyone's comment. So I'm just going to say that right now, because I know how much I'm going to be working here. But if you do send in a super chat, number one, we'll make sure we get to it. It's much appreciated to help support us and streams like this. But also, you can put that super chat point value to the franchise of your choice, just like Rachel did for Halloween. So that's 5 points to Halloween. Before we start with the with the categories themselves, let's play a quick clip for Rachel. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. And you know, Kill, sometimes when you get upset, you might need a little bit more help than we've gotten in the last couple of weeks. And we might have to call in the troops. And it might look a little bit like this.
We're fine. Bullshit! No! You son of a bitch! Shut up! Go to your room!
Back the fuck off! You even ended it with Tom.
Hey, look. Hey,
America's dad.
I've been waiting all weekend to play these, and I got a couple, bro. I'm ready to rock tonight.
Hey, bonus points for the magic clip. Got to give you that. No one talks about that one.
That's right. That's right. Shout out. Okay, guys. It's definitely not in the file, Scott. All right, we're gonna go category by category. You guys know how we do this. First off, Eric, we're gonna talk about the posters for the franchise. We don't have to get specific, but we got to give a point to one franchise over the other based upon their poster work. So let's bring up the posters for Elm Street. Those are the posters that we have. And we also have posters for Halloween. Okay. Now, in your opinion, and I know this is going to be challenging, so we're going to try to get through this as quick as we can, but which franchise do you think deserves the point and why?
I'm flat out going with Elm Street, based on creativity. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of what do we call the floating head posters. And pretty much after part 3, as much as I do like the false advertising in 4, it's pretty much, with Halloween, it's pretty much just the mask, a knife, and then the cast, other than, Rob's posters. There's so much creativity in the Elm Street franchise, with just starting with 1, going all the way down at least until New Nightmares, where they kind of lose it a little bit. But the first 5, I think, are great. So flat out, Elm Street wins, hands down.
Okay. And of course, it also includes the Elm Street remake, which is basically another just position of Freddy on the front. But okay, Kill, how about you?
This is an easy street for me. Halloween all the way. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, granted, there are years here where they went through some lulls. But the original, the first Rob Zombie, and the last 3 of the trilogy are immaculate. I hear what Eric's saying about creativity, but I do feel there's some creativity, especially in the first Rob Zombie one. We've talked about it before, where you can see like most of the cast in the mask of Michael there. There's some lulls between Halloween 2 and maybe up to Resurrection. They're kind of hit or miss for me. I do agree the floating head after a while gets a little boring, but I love the motif of the final 3 as well. No disrespect to Elm Street. I love the first Elm Street poster, But some of those Elm Street ones, it's like just floating weird Freddy face, like big eye, little eye, like just stuff in there that's like, what the hell is that? I don't know. But yeah, for me, I got to go with Halloween.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
I mean, some of those are just like 3. 3 is a great film, but I don't really like the poster. You know, it looks and friggin' part 2 there reminds me of like what is it, like a Goosebumps cover, you know? So I'm sorry, I gotta go with Halloween for this one.
Okay. All right. For me, this is actually kind of challenging. And the reason for that is because I think, first of all, I think both franchises have some great posters. Okay. And obviously one franchise has more movies, but we're just trying to call this even down the middle. But I do agree with a couple things, actually, what Coriander just said too. There's a couple of the Elm Street posters that are kind of like, but there's also a couple that are amazing, especially the original, which I have, and there's a reason for that. And I do like the creativity of it, but at the end of the day, overall, I'm gonna go with Halloween as well. And the reason for that, even though we get the false advertising on 4 and 5, bro, when I first saw that poster for 4. I was just like, Kill, you remember that? I was just like, what? He's back. It was so awesome. But I also think that 2 is iconic, 1's iconic, the current trilogy is great, and even the Rob Zombie posters, so I just think I appreciate the Halloween franchise a little bit more in total versus Elm Street. So that's where I'm gonna go with it. All right. Real quick too in the chat to catch up with these guys. Mellow Mutants in the chat. Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. We got Denisha with a 21-month channel anniversary. All right. And Denisha is thank you so much. We appreciate the support. And saying have a great stream. 21 months. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And if you're still here, thank you so much, Denisha. We appreciate the support. Okay. Let's see. We got Julie. Floating weird Freddy face was my exact thoughts. That was great. Pierre's breaking it down. 3 great Halloween versus 4 great Freddys. Ooh, okay. So we're going with Freddy there. All right. Mello saying the Elm Street posters do fall off after 5. All right. Very, very cool. Sarah saying, I just find there's too much going on with most of the Elm Street posters. I like how bold the Halloween ones are. Okay, well said. Well said. Very, very interesting too. Okay, let's go to our next category, and that is the favorite poster out of the franchises, Eric. So which one gets the point out of all of them?
See, I knew we would be having these favorite of the franchises, and that's what I've been looking forward to because of the challenge. But this one's actually really easy for me. It is the original Halloween 2 poster.
Okay.
I absolutely love the mixture of because I've always loved skeletons, like ever since I was a little kid. Skeletons, skulls, and then you're really mixing that skull into the pumpkin, and it just looks horrifying. Even if you know nothing about Michael Myers or the franchise, that is like a poster I want on my wall. It would be like the VHS tape at Blockbuster that draws my attention, and just because it's so cool, so evil looking, I absolutely love it.
Right. Man, I remember the first time I ever saw it as well, and I was thinking, what? I was just befuddled. I really was, because I was like, man, it is so cool. And even to this day, I mean, it really stands out. It truly does. Okay, so you're gonna go with Halloween 2, 1981. Okay. Kill, how about you?
Could you bring up the Halloween posters real quick?
Yep. There we go with Halloween.
See,
And there we go with Elm Street.
Yeah, I don't need to see those. Although, although, look, I'm not gonna lie. I know that sounded bad, but I do like that poster for New Nightmare. But you know what? And if you had that one that I like for New Nightmare, that probably would have been my favorite out of all of them.
The thing of no, I agree. I don't know why they didn't go with that one. It's an alternate, of course, but it's one of the best out of either franchise. I agree with you. I love it.
So I have a prop for my answer. So
okay.
Yeah. I love the orange motif. I love the darkness that's in there. And my close second would probably be the 2018 one.
Okay. All right. So you're going with Halloween Kills or 2018. Okay, Coriander, how about you? What's your favorite poster out of all of the posters? And again, here we are, and I've got the remake now on the poster list here for Elm Street.
I am gonna do Season of the Witch.
Wow.
Yeah. I love how you see the kids trick-or-treating. I like how you see, I wish I could see it better. Is that one of the masks or that's in the sky?
It's like
the witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like okay. So I just think that is like really creepy and cool. Yeah, I love the red, and then you got the green lettering. That's
wow.
cool.
For you.
Now, can I say? Okay, let's take a second. I know we're trying to.
He's got to process this.
Now the poster's different than the movie.
No. It's all good. I'm gonna give you like tons of props.
Right.
This is a woman. This is a woman that for a long time was like basically what I was at 8 years old. Okay, I hate Season of the Witch, and man, we did the Redemption Watch. Now she's on board with the witch and the pumpkin mask and the skeleton mask, and now out of all of these posters, and there's a lot of posters, she picks Season of the Witch. I'm impressed. So it just shows on Battle World there is no lying.
Well, Knight, that's because Silver Shamrock replaced her. She's been replaced by Silver Shamrock.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. There you go. That was a good one, man. All right. For me, and again, you guys let us know in the chat which you guys are going with. We got Warpath in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. And they never looked like the characters. Yeah, they were definitely very what's the word? Artistic. Yeah, exactly. For me, this is tough, man, because there are a lot of great posters here. There really is, and I want to even give credit to the Elm Street remake. Having just done that video and doing a lot of research on it. And by the way, if you haven't checked it out, please do. But I just paid a lot more attention to it, and I really do love that poster a lot. It's not my favorite Elm Street poster, but I just want to give it a little bit credit, just like Coriander gave Season of Witch some credit.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason wasn't bad.
No, it's not too bad. Although there's an alternate that I kind of dig a little bit more. But anyways,
I just like that Jason's there, so I had to point that out since no one was gonna.
Wow. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, this is tough, but I think I gotta go with Halloween 4. There's some nostalgia in it for sure. But Michael is just right there, just like, I'm back, baby. And I just love how it's not his whole mask. And I'm telling you guys, when I first saw the poster for this thing, it just blew me away. I think it looks great. I think the title is great. The font's great. The color's great. Everything that you see in the background with the house, it just looks so cool. It just does. Shout out to Halloween 2 as well, though. And of course the original, but this is tough, man, to pick one, but I'm going to say Halloween 4. Okay. Elm Street is going with Dream Warriors. Okay. Mello's going with Dream Warriors. Julie is saying Kills and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. There we go. We definitely got catfished by 4 and 5. We did. Sarah says, I actually really like the 2018 poster, but I think 78 is my favorite. Well said. Okay. All right. Let me just see if I can catch up. And again, guys, I'm not going to get to everyone, but I'm going to try to. Yeah, exactly, Alan. If only Michael looked like that in 4. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know. It's crazy. Okay. So we did our favorite poster. Next up, and again, guys, if you want to put points to one of the franchises, just do a super chat. And I won't get to everyone's comment, but that way, if you do, it will light up and I will make sure to get to it. The best opening of any film in either franchise, Eric, which one is it?
Oh man. I can't wait too long on the answer.
No. I mean, take your time. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't want you to rush an answer, but I'll keep track of the time.
Okay. I'm gonna go with New Nightmare. I love how it looks like it's a new Freddy, with the I guess you'd say the Terminator type glove, you know what I mean, that he's making. Someone cuts their hand off, and then you see it's a movie set. So we have that little bit of meta before it was popular, and just the fact that it's them making a movie, and then it comes to life. We have some great kills when the glove comes to life, and then when Dylan just disappears and she wakes up from that dream.
Yeah.
I think that it was just a perfect mixture of the dream world and reality meta. It really draws you in. So going with New Nightmare.
Okay. All right. Kill. How about you?
This is really, really tough.
Yeah,
it
no
is.
kidding.
I you know what? I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I'm sorry, I got to go with the first thing that comes to my mind. Fire and Carnage. I'm going with Halloween Kills. I'm sorry. Like, this dude is just Mr. Happy's in the fire, just looking up like, what up? And then he just aces out some of our finest firefighters, men and women, brave men and women, get aced out with the quickness, and it's just amazing. And it's like, oh, this is what we're doing with this movie. This is what we're doing. So yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind. That opening is badass.
It's a good one.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
I am thinking exactly the same, Gil. I love the beginning to that movie. I mean, because everyone's thinking, how the hell is he going to survive this? And when you see it, and when he comes out and then does what he does, it's like, oh, fuck yes. It was awesome. Yes.
All right. Okay. For me, this is challenging because, man, there are a whole bunch of great openings in these movies. One that jumps out at me, and I've just had a couple that just was like boop boop boop. I got to show some love to Freddy's Revenge, which was my first Elm Street. When I first saw that, bro, I'm like, where are we going with this bus, the school bus? Why are we doing this? Come on, bro. Don't run me like that. And poor Jesse. It was so creative, bro. Kill, you remember the first time you saw it? Did I show it to you? Or I mean, I don't even remember how that happened, but I just remember.
I can say it really quick. We tried to go see it at the movie theater, and it scared the shit out of me.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember?
Yes.
With
yes.
Nate? Yeah.
Yes. And we couldn't go. We couldn't go.
I forced you guys to leave. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. But it's just such a great opening. I love it. You know what? I'm going to just go with, because that's the first one that came to my mind. Obviously, there's great ones. I could have chosen a couple others, especially in Halloween, but I'm going to go with that one, man, because it just, not only was it creepy and well shot, but it was so creative. And you had no clue. There was no clue what was going to happen. Granted, that's true of a lot of these openings, but just for me, I'm just going to go with that. So Elm Street 2.
Those shots of him just raking his glove on the bus seats. You know what I mean? It's just his glove in the seat, and the sound that's used. It's really good.
Yes.
So did you pick 2? Elm Street 2?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Elm Street's Last Brat saying, I love the school bus opening. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Let me just catch up with these guys a little bit. We got Rachel coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Rachel. Seriously. We appreciate you. Saying points to 7. She's not playing today. Points to 78 Halloween, because nothing will beat the slow pan, the POV shooting, and that reveal of angel face Michael. Yeah, it's iconic, man. And trust me, I was thinking it. I was thinking it. Thank you so much, Rachel. We're gonna put those 5 points to Halloween. So Rachel's already put 10 points to Halloween. So I'm just saying.
We forgot to mention this in the beginning. Since this is a franchise, the win-loss record also is going to be Freddie and Wes Craven, as well as Michael and John Carpenter. So 2 people get victories, 2 people get losses. So
good. Yes, exactly. Thank you for reminding us about that, Eric. So there's a lot of weight in this. There truly is. We also got Ben coming in. Hey, with a $20 super chat. Oh man, thank you so much.
Hey Ben.
Saying I can't stay, but I just wanted to send my love. Currency. Thank you for being the best horror community. Oh man, thank you so much. Seriously. Wow. Man, you're all right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother. And we hope you enjoy the replay whenever you get a chance to check it out. All right. Real quick, let's do a clip for Rachel and Ben. You know, Kill, sometimes when you are a fan of a certain performer or performers and you think about some of their greatest moments, you think of romance, you think of action, you think of a lot of different things, but you never think about this, do you? It looks like this.
What did I just see?
Is that Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Look, that was not an Inception. That's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Ben and Rachel. Sarah saying, I love the H2O opening with Mr. Sandman playing, kids carving pumpkins, and Marion. It really gives me good Halloween vibes. Very good point, man. And look, man, I got to give a shout out. As crazy as it sounds, and just the other night we were doing our rankings and stuff. Curse of Michael Myers has a pretty cool opening too, man. It's creepy, the music, and it has the Halloween vibes too, man. So it was a lot of great answers that we could have had for this particular category. Okay, all right, let's Danielle. Oh my God, that's right. Ben saying the openings in the films are so iconic and impactful, especially in the unique ways they are shot. I agree. I mean, there's a reason why these franchises have stood the test of time. So both of them are top tier Mount Rushmore franchises, in my opinion. Okay, next up, the best single score of any of these films. Which movie is it, Eric, that has the single best score?
I always go with the first one that pops into my head because that's what sticks with you. I'm going Halloween 78 because it's not just a fantastic score from a horror movie. It's just a fantastic score from a movie in general. And even people, and the thing is, people that don't watch horror movies, people that hate horror movies, they know that score. My daughter's never watched a Halloween movie, but she knows, oh, that's from the Halloween movie. You know what I mean? Whenever she hears it, it's that iconic because it's just that good.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
This is easy street. It's got to be 78. Look, that theme song is a part of the actual holiday of Halloween now. You know, I mean, no disrespect to Nightmare on Elm Street music, because there are some good, pieces of music in there in the movies. But this is almost a cheat code. Anytime it's a Halloween score for the most part. So yeah, I got to go 78.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
Again, this movie just instantly popped into my head, and that's Halloween Kills. I loved the score, especially that scene when that kid gets killed in the fence, right? And Laurie sees him, and it's that bassy boom, it's like, yeah, and then the music, and yeah.
All right. Okay. man, there's multiple movies that come to my mind when I think about great scores. You guys have already named a few of them. And I want to give a shout out to 84 Elm Street and also Freddy's Revenge, which was so different. Freddy's Revenge is totally different. It doesn't use the score, the regular score, but it's so weird, right? And I can appreciate that. But man, I'm not gonna lie. The first movie that came to my mind was Halloween 2, 1981, bro, when they jacked up the theme. Like, as soon as it starts, when Loomis says, "You don't know what death is," ding, 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 and it just like all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. It's almost like we went from like a slow dance to like, some disco shit. What do we like? It gets there, and Alan Howarth, who helped out with the score on Halloween 2 and just really getting the extra synthesizers and stuff like that. The finale with Laurie and how it's just ramped up, like it's ramped up higher than 78. So I'm actually going to go with Halloween 2 from 81. All right. Well, this is I'm digging this, man. This is great. Holy crap. Real quick too in the chat. We got Film Kid in the chat. Let's see. Pierre says Halloween. Mellow Mutant is going with Halloween. Danielle saying Elm Street jams all night. All right. We got Elm Street in there. Julie's going with Halloween. Scott says for the score 78, easily the most iconic. All right. And we got Hollywood Guy coming in with a $5 super chat. Hey, thank you so much, man. Saying I agree, 78 score was great, and I even have it as a ringtone on my phone. Why not? Hollywood Guy. And I want to double check this too. And Ben, I don't know if you're still here, but I don't think Ben said if he wants to put those points to a particular franchise. So for you guys, when you guys send in the super chat, please let us know if you want to put it to one franchise or the other. It really helps us. It also helps me to keep track of it and not have to go back and forth. But Hollywood Guy, much appreciated for the super chat. I'm assuming he's putting it to Halloween, but Hollywood Guy, let us know because I don't want to assume, just to make sure I don't, make an error with that. Okay. We got Jado in the chat. What's going on? Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, if you guys have not hit the like button, please do. It helps us out. We'd really appreciate it. Val saying best score is definitely 78, but Dream Warriors is also memorable. We're the Dream Warriors. That's right. Ain't gonna dream no more. I love that. Julie is crazy tonight. She says, shout out to the basketballs in the Elm Street score. Oh my God. Sarah said the kills score is actually pretty good. I like how the classic score is really intensified. Good point. Good point. We got June in the chat as well. Welcome to the chat. Okay. All right. I think I've caught up to everybody. Okay. Next category. Here we go, guys. Eric, the most creative opening of any film in these two franchises.
Trying to think. You know what? I'm going to stick with, and I've already said why, so we'll keep it short. I'm going to go with New Nightmare.
Okay.
Because of what I said previously.
Okay. New Nightmare. Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
Two movies popped in my head, one actually from each franchise. One was New Nightmare, and the other one was 2018 Halloween. How they bring back in Laurie Strode and they bring back in The Mask. I'm going to have to go with that because just the sheer fact of the podcasters bringing The Mask in, everybody in the insane asylum going crazy, Michael reacting to it. Like, it was just, wow, it's a lot going on here. And this is very creative to bring, to fix the retcons, bring Michael back, bring Laurie back, and kind of act like, 2 never happened.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
How far do we go into like Elm Street for the opening? Like,
Well,
where
I
does
mean,
it
it can.
stop? Like, what
Well,
scene?
well, we always say it could be a couple of minutes. It could be
I
maybe up to
know,
10 or
but
15 minutes.
what's the longest? Do we get to Tina's death or no?
Normally it's 15, I think.
No, I mean, Tina's death is pretty far into the
Is that
original.
too far? Okay.
I would think. What do you guys think, Eric?
I think her death is too far. The opening nightmare would work when she wakes up, but I think her death is still too far.
Yeah, her death is
Okay.
like 25
Then
minutes
I'm gonna
into the movie.
go. Okay, I got it. And I'm gonna go 2018 Halloween.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I think that this is another one that's pretty darn tough because there's some really creative openings on both sides of the fence. But I just gotta go with the original Elm Street. I mean, first of all, the nightmare is weird. Okay, you got lambs, you got fire, we got boiler rooms. I mean, so what are we doing here? You have no clue what's going on. You have no clue what's going on. Amanda Weiss in that scene just really carried it, as far as making you feel that fear in seeing that she's terrified. I haven't even talked about Freddy creating the glove. Like when I first saw that, it was just so creepy. The music plays into that as well, but that's part of an opening. And it was just so captivating, the way that was shot. And as we all know, and it's true for a lot of these movies, especially these movies of both franchises made in the 80s and early 90s, it's not like they had huge budgets. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at these as king franchises, and they are. But again, it shows the creativity of a lot of these filmmakers to make so much with so little in many cases. So I'm going with the opening to Elm Street 84. I just think that it's just fantastic. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just check the chat real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm catching up. And again, Hollywood Guy, I don't know if you and Eric, if you can see that, let me know. I don't know if Hollywood Guy wanted to put those points to. Okay, actually, I see it. He said yes. Add it to Halloween. Okay. Wow, we got a lot of people adding points to Halloween. Woo. All right. Is there any Elm Street people? Wow. Okay, Elm Street. Speaking of which, Elm Street's Last Breath says New Nightmare and definitely the OG. All right. Elm Street's going to need some help. We got Kenny in the chat. What's going on? Let's see. MK in the house. Unpopular opinion here. While 2018 had a great opening, I actually felt Resurrection's opening was cool. He kills Laurie and just walked through the doors to find her. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't like the way it happened, but it was a pretty good opening. It really, really was a good opening. Okay. Next category. Let's move on to the next one. And Eric, the best story of any film from these two franchises. And when we talk about story, obviously it is story A to Z. So what do you think? Who gets the point?
I'm going Dream Warriors. I've said it many, many times. It's a mixture of this character Freddy that I've grown to know and love, and then you give its victims superpowers to fight it. It's just the mixture of horror and fun for me. Going Dream Warriors. The creativity and everything. I love it.
All right. Okay, Kill. How about you?
This is tough. A lot of good stories. Two popped in my mind, and they're both from Elm Street franchises. One was Dream Warriors, and then the other one was New Nightmare. Bringing it to the real world. But I got to go Dream Warriors because not only do you learn more about Freddy, you have this great cast of characters that you're following. You're bringing back, a favorite final girl from the original, and you're kind of coming full circle between the first movie and the third movie. And just altogether, it's just a great narrative. So I got to go Dream Warriors.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
I am going to say A Nightmare on Elm Street. I like how, we're first introduced to Freddy and that he's a dream demon. And he's, this is where he's like scary and none of that part 5. Is it part 5 where he's in the game? Bullshit.
6.
Is that 5, 6, whatever,
6.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, anyway, I don't want to. Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to talk anymore.
Okay. All right. For me, I think this is a challenging one as well. I mean, because there were good stories in a lot of these films, but if I have to pick one, I think I'm also going to go with Dream Warriors. It was it was able to take the best elements of the original and amplify it. It was able to amplify it. It was able to further the mythology. It was able to create this feeling of a battle with these dream warriors and the camaraderie that they had. They were great characters. And like you said, Kill, you bring back Nancy. It's like Nancy becomes Yoda. It's like that was just awesome. And I mean, seriously, it was such a great film. It's such a great sequel, and it really is a definition of how you do a great sequel to a great film, which is so tough to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dream Warriors.
Another good thing is you actually get to see what's happened to the Thompson family after the events of the first one, and you see that there's no relationship with Donald and Nancy anymore, and you see his life has pretty much gone down in the dumps. He's been demoted. He's now got an alcohol problem. He's kind of a coward, until he mans up when they fight the skeleton. There's more to it than that. That's what I like too. You get to see the follow up of the effects that the first film had on these characters.
Absolutely. Rachel saying, damn, this is a hard one. I know, it really, really is. Danielle saying, best story 100% goes to Elm Street. Halloween has been redone so many times, there's no clear story. Now, we have to pick one movie, though. So are you talking about 84, Nightmare on Elm Street? I'm assuming that's what you're picking. But we're just picking the one movie that has the best story. And not really looking at all the stories combined throughout both franchises. Because that would, I don't know if it'd make it harder or not, but we're just picking one movie. All right. Next category, Eric. The best direction. Okay. So which film, not franchise, but which film out of these, 22 movies? Which one has the best job by a director? Which film is that?
I'm gonna say Wes Craven and the original Elm Street. It's the mixture of the creativity. I mean, I could say early in his career, but that's the same as Carpenter. But the creativity, what he had to do set wise with just that rotating room, and that was either hit a home run or strike out type of thing. If it didn't look good, it would have been garbage. And it's one of those deaths that's always brought up in horror discussion. That just the creativity of the character, knowing when to hide Freddy in the shadows, when to see him, all these choices he made. I think it's pretty damn near perfect, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
This is really tough because I'm struggling to figure out how I feel about the direction. And what I mean by that is it the look, like sort of like how we were just saying Wes Craven in the first movie, or is it the acting of the characters, fleshing out the characters? Say what you want about Rob Zombie, he fleshed out all those characters, whether you liked it or not. I think I'm gonna go Wes Craven, and primarily just because it was more fantastical elements. And the things that were, they were doing, I agree with what Eric said. If he didn't get them to look right, it definitely wouldn't have worked. And some of those effects and those shots still work today. So I got to go with Elm Street 1.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
I am going to do 2018. They really tell you that They're not Michael and Laurie's not related. It was just a bunch of shit that reporters made up. And that right there is how I always felt about this damn franchise. And yeah, that just because of that, it's getting my best direction vote.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man. And it was a great movie. So he did an excellent job. I loved all three. So there you go.
All right. For me, this is tough, man. I mean, when we're talking about directing, there's so many elements that is involved, and from your cast and how they perform to how you do the shots, how they're set up, the story itself. I mean, there's tons of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, obviously, it comes down to Carpenter and Craven. I mean, there's just no doubt about it because getting really deep into everything. But I got to edge it out to Wes, and I'm gonna, and this is the reason why. First of all, for 84, now both directors worked really hard to get their films made. Carpenter had to do a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears too. But Wes, holy crap, man! If you ever hear about the behind the scenes of how Elm Street got made, I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, it was just huge gambles on his part, huge gambles on New Line Cinema's part, and just handling all these different things, the creative aspects of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And like you even said, Eric, some of these dream sequences and all of that stuff, man, I just got to give him so much credit. Not that I wouldn't give Carpenter or anyone else enough credit, but it's just like, wow, when you really sit back and just see all the different things involved, it's just like, it's just crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm going to edge this one out to the late great Wes for Elm Street 84. Okay. Real quick too in the chat to catch up. We got JPEG in the chat. Okay. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. I just want to catch up. Pierre's going with 78, Halloween 78, simple and effective. And thank you so much, Julie. Julie's got links in the chat. We got DJ in the chat. Welcome. Let's see. And thank you, Sarah. We got the playlist for Battle World, man. We're over 60 episodes strong, and we're just having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun.
I want to give you props too, because I don't know if you did it last time we did this, but how you actually have like episode 60, whatever we were tonight, and you have your little title card in it. That was really cool, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I see. That's what I'm talking about. When people notice that stuff, it's like, I know you're paying attention. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. But this has been so much fun. So for you guys, obviously, if you haven't seen some of these episodes, definitely catch up. Paula is going with Halloween 78 for direction. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next category. We got a lot to go here. Favorite character, your favorite character throughout all of these movies. And again, we're talking 22 films.
Jeez. It's so tough, man.
It is.
I'm trying to get them to all run through my head. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna go the fun route. I'm gonna go Kincaid from Dream Warriors. He's one of those characters that you're either gonna love because he's an asshole, but he's like a lovable asshole. He's 90% of the time he's funny. There's sometimes when you roll your eyes, but the intent is great. I really like the actor who portrays him.
Yes.
I even like because I liked him so much in Dream Warriors, it pisses me off, but in the way you want that to happen when he's taken out in Dream Master. I just love him so much, and it's great that we do get to see him in two films. I really like. What's his name? Ken Sagos.
Sagos.
Yep. Yeah. Really, really liked him as Kincaid.
All right. Okay. Kill. How about you, man?
So it could be any character
throughout these 22 films. It can only be one character. But who is that character?
My favorite character is Michael Audrey Myers.
Okay.
And my reasoning for that is, say what you want about Busta Rhymes beating him up a little bit, they've never really bitched up Michael Myers. And Freddy hasn't really been bitched up, but Freddy has made himself look like a bitch. But like, and Jason, unfortunately, in Freddy versus Jason looks like a bitch. But seriously, think about Michael Myers. I mean, maybe in Halloween Ends, but I mean, he's hurt. He's an old man. But seriously, look into your heart.
Deep in your southern heart.
Wow. You're going deep.
Seriously, if you saw the shape coming at you, you wouldn't call that man or that thing a bitch. And 2018, I've said this time and time again, I love how he has played there, the intensity that was brought with him when he's pulling down the mask, the mannerisms.
Yeah.
I can go all the way back to the original Michael Myers, just how he's just is in the shadows, just creepy as fuck. I love it. Michael Audrey Myers.
All right.
It's like he's seeking donations. Look into your heart.
Look deep into your heart.
I mean, seriously, just think about it.
I love it.
It's like he's panhandling on Battle World. I got to get you your trusty hobo coat and your pan and everything.
Oh no!
All right, so Coriander, how about you? Who's your favorite character throughout all these movies?
Obviously, I always say, I love Laurie, her character. Jamie Lee, who plays her, she's like one of my favorite actresses. And yeah, I mean, I gotta go with Laurie.
Okay. All right. For me, there's a lot of great characters in these franchises. There really is. And I've said, especially in recent months, the last several months, especially when we got a chance to meet her, Nancy Thompson has to get a hell of a lot of credit. And I love Laurie, don't get me wrong, but Nancy Thompson, man, like when you talk A to Z, like, dude, she was just so badass, especially in '84. Shout out to Heather Langenkamp. And obviously, you guys know I'm a big fan of Freddy. But look, there's no lying. There's never been any lying. And although I agree with the answers that have been on this panel, there's one person that has not been said.
I know
I'm gonna. If that girl dies tonight, listen, guys.
Obviously,
listen. If you didn't know, this is who he is.
If that girl dies tonight, hey, number one. You're the dude.
Listen.
The fuck?
Listen. Donald Pleasance, just celebrating his birthday, by the way. So this actually works out really good. So I want to say, seriously, rest in peace to the late great Donald Pleasance. A belated happy birthday. He was just so good in this role. He really was. He was the heart and soul of this franchise, and I don't think any other character, in my opinion, did what he was able to do in these films. I mean, he was just so fantastic. I love Loomis. I really, really do. And as much as I enjoy the franchise and I love the franchise, that's the one thing about the franchise that always kind of, bums me out a little bit, is that, we don't have Donald anymore. Those films were great films. He made them better. And to me, anyways, as a fan, there's no question about that. No one will ever get me to change that opinion. So my favorite character, without even a hesitation, is Dr. Samuel Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance. And again, yesterday was his birthday. Shout out to Donald Pleasance.
Hey,
all right.
So can I just say, where you're talking about birthdays, it's going to be my meme's 92nd birthday in 2 days. We had our party today. Yeah. So I just want to shout out to my Meme, and happy birthday.
Yes,
God bless
happy
her.
birthday to Meme.
92.
Um,
Absolutely.
And if you know this,
Absolutely.
her story and how tough it, real quick, she broke her hip twice. They told her she was going to be in a wheelchair. That's it. She's walking. She proved everybody wrong, and she's doing so good. And
She
yeah,
is tough.
Very
Good for her.
mhm.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And real quick too in the chat, Julie said Killian's character study on bitches is not the study we deserved, but the study we
Mhm.
needed. There we go. That's what I like. JPEG, yes, we have talked about the scores. We've done quite a few categories so far, and we got a lot more to go. The Virgos in the house, what's going on? And I had to have Loomis ready to rock and roll. We got Million in the house. What's up, man? All right, catch a little girl. Can you catch her? Yeah, man. He's using kids as shields.
Mhm.
Poor Danielle Harris still
He's ready
has
to
trauma.
kill kids.
Yes, he is ready.
Yep.
Listen. By the end of 4, Loomis said, "I am at the 0 fucks level. It's over. No one's gonna cross my line." I mean, seriously, he's yelling, and poor little Danielle Harris, he's in her face yelling. What do you think he's gonna do with that? I mean, like, dude, you gotta love him. You gotta love him. All right, and we got some happy birthdays to Meme in the house. Thank you guys.
Yay.
Now
Thank
that
you
is awesome.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
guys
cool.
she's like
You
the
guys are all right.
sweetest, most lovable lady. She like does
She is.
anything and everything for everybody. Yeah, she's
Mhm.
like my mentor. I look up to her. She's like incredible. Yeah.
She is.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, guys. Next category up. Eric, your 3 favorite scenes out of 22 movies. I know this is challenging, so don't feel super pressured on it, but 3 favorite scenes.
Okay.
And of course, points are going to go, to each franchise, whatever you name.
Okay. So I can pick scenes from both franchises. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Just out of
All
these
right.
22 films, if you have 3 scenes that just jump to your mind that are your favorites, which scenes are they?
Okay. First one that popped into my mind, Halloween 4, when he escapes the ambulance. He kills the ambulance workers. The second one is Elm Street, the original, the body bag scene with Tina. I love that, how creepy it is, especially when we see it being dragged away by an invisible person. And I gotta be careful on this one. The next one. I'm gonna go Elm Street, the original again. Glenn getting dragged into his bed.
Ooh.
Just because it's so over the top and disgusting, and also the reaction of his mother. She ends up walking in on it. That adds to it for me. So
yeah,
I'll go with those 3.
All right. Okay. So you guys get ready with your scenes. You guys in the chat too. Kill. How about you, man?
So I'm gonna go original Nightmare, Tina's death from the ceiling. That just see, I just still remember seeing that for the first time. It's like, what the hell? It's just crazy. Halloween 2018, when Michael Audrey Myers gets his mask back after he, plays teeth chiclets with the podcasters in the bathroom.
Dana.
He plays with his food, man.
He's like the guy in the meme who's sprinkling the salt. We've all seen that.
Yeah, he's salt.
You gotta stop.
And oh man, my third one. This is tough, but I'm probably gonna go with Dream Warriors, where my man is being used like a puppet.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one. That scene gets me every time. It still creeps me out, but it's just amazing to look at. And Freddy's in the clouds, and he's like, "Hey," and just cutting.
He's like, "Hey."
I mean, he's like,
"What's up, yo?"
So yeah, those 3.
Okay, now let me just say something. Well, actually, no, Coriander, let me get your answers first, and then I'm going to say something. So, Coriander, what are your 3 favorite scenes from any of these 22 films?
So obviously, I mentioned it before, but the firefighter scene, that's like so awesome. I really liked the the final battle of Michael and Laurie. And obviously, just like Kelly and Tina's kill, that's one of my favorite kills, so.
Okay. All right. And let me just throw this out there again for you guys in the chat. Obviously, hopefully you're following along. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. And Sarah, or if anyone, Julie, if you could let us know where we're at with likes. This is really close, guys, because especially a category like this is actually kind of flipping a little bit, which is interesting. So again, if you guys want to help a franchise win, make sure you do so. Okay, for me, 3 favorite scenes. There's so many that came to my mind, man, but I'm just gonna go with these 3. I'm gonna agree with you guys. Tina's death, again, I've called it one of the greatest death scenes in horror movie history, and it's still up there. So many great things. Amanda Weiss, amazing. It's a nightmare. The way Robert comes around that corner, this is God chasing her. I mean, it's like it was so well done. So I agree. Tina's death scene has to be one of them. And this is where it gets tough. Number 2, and these aren't in order, but I'm just naming them. Number 2, I gotta go with the firefighter scene, bro. When Michael came out of that house, guys, I wish you could have been there. One of these days, maybe, if the channel gets that good, we can do these types of things. If you guys could have been in the theater when me and Corey went to go see it, when he came out of that house, I was geeking the fuck out, man. And the audience, you could feel the energy. It was so awesome. And seeing it on a big theater screen, it was fantastic. So that's my second favorite scene, is the firefighter scene. Then this is where it got tough, man. First of all, I want to give a shout out to when Michael takes on the entire East Coast by himself at the end of Halloween Kills, and all he does is just bend down. Shout out to James Drew Cordy. He just bends down. He's like, "Let me get my mask and let's go." It was just so. It still gets me every time. But my third favorite scene, and I went back and forth on this, and it actually was a tie between the 2 franchises. But I can't lie, man. I'm gonna go with Halloween 2, the finale. Once Michael stabs, I can't remember if it was. No, it's not Katie. But anyways, stabs the nurse, and Laurie sees it, and that music kicks in, and Warlock does the fastest slow walk of all time, fighting gravity. Michael in anti-gravity, but still, it was such a great chase scene, and it still affects me to this day. So I'm going to go with that as my third favorite scene, the finale of Halloween 2, the chase. Okay. That was a fun category, bro.
Shout out to that honorable mention of Michael versus the Mob. I just love the look on Anthony Michael Hall's face when he knows it's over. And me, I wasn't a big fan of it, so I was glad when Michael just kind of shut him up. It's kind of like that meme you hear. It was at this moment he knew he messed up. You know what I mean?
It was great. And all of the weight of that too, because again, you got to remember, because people sometimes don't connect those dots. In 78, he was so scared of the boogeyman, like that, like engulfed him. Talking about the boogeyman, Dolores. What about the boogeyman? Do you believe in the boogeyman? The boogeyman, the boogeyman. Like, and for him as an adult to overcome it, but then realize you're not about this life, bro. This is you have checked out. This is above your depth. And it was just great. It was a great moment. Sad in a way, but it was a great moment, especially for Michael, So, all right. This was a fun category, guys. I know you guys are throwing in some good stuff in the chat. We can't get to everyone, but you know who we can get to? We get into Elm Street's super chat here. Thank you so much, saying for all the brats. Okay, so we're going for Elm Street. Holy shit. Wow. Woo. All right. So 20 points to the Elm Street franchise. Guys, this battle has taken a turn. There you go. Wow. Elm Street, as always, thank you so much for the support. You're always supporting us. You're always here, hanging out, being positive in the chat. We appreciate all of that, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. Wow.
That's why I always say to the people in the chat, never give up hope until the very end. You never know.
Yes, this is crazy. All right, so we got to do we'll do a clip for Elm Street as well. And Kill, sometimes kids, man, they can take a beating, and so can adults. And there's a guy that's going to let us know about it, and it looks like this.
Bullshit!
Oh!
Bullshit!
You know what? I'm a parent, but that's sometimes kids getting hit in the face like that. Some of the funniest shit I've ever seen.
It's the funniest thing. Yeah, I've got two. And I mean, oh my God, it cracks me up.
The kid's okay, guys. The kid's okay.
Oh my God. Kids are like little rubbers. They're made of rubber. They're so resilient and tough. And
that's right.
Yeah, he's okay.
All right. That's right. Thank you so much, Elm Street. Seriously, and you guys thanking Elm Street, and thank you guys for doing that as well, because that's important too. We want to appreciate folks that are able to do those things. Everyone can't, and that's fine. But those who can, it helps out. It helps us to do stuff for all of you guys and for all of us to get together like this on a Sunday night. So thank you guys for also thanking Elm Street. And speaking of which, Rachel's coming in with a $10 super chat. God.
Whoa.
Wow. Rachel doesn't play around either, man. She said for the shapes in the shadows. Okay. Wow. All right. We're in a battle here. So we've got 10 more points. Rachel has been on a tear for Halloween. She is like, Halloween is going to win tonight. Wow. Thank you, Rachel. We appreciate you. You know that. And I'm hoping that you're feeling better. I really do. And I'm hoping that this helps, just give you some entertainment and fun. Sarah saying 3 favorite scenes: 2018, Happy Halloween, Michael. It's not a cage, it's a trap. Kills, the firefighter showdown, and H2O, Lori grabbing the axe. Michael! Yep. Yes. That was a great scene. No doubt. Good call. Daniel said, yes, another child takes a hit. Wow.
God. Thank God.
Oh, man. Yes, much love to you, Rachel. Thank you so much. Okay, this was such a fun category, guys. I'm already getting some different ideas here, Eric. We'll be talking about that at some point. You too, Kill and Coriander. But see what you guys think. Okay, but next category for tonight: the scariest scene. The scariest scene throughout all 22 films. What do you pick, Eric?
Man. Okay. First one that popped into my head after thinking, I'm going Elm Street 2. I gotta go to the bus scene. And it's just the way Freddy is portrayed. And even though people seem to have a problem, and sometimes rightfully so, with the movie in as a whole product, that opening sequence, Freddy is just so scary, and the fact that he's completely in the shadows adds to it. I mean, you already talked about it with your category earlier tonight, but again, the way he uses his claws on the seats, the way he just moves, just walking down the aisle slowly, stalking Jesse and the 2 girls. It's just so creepy and scary. The use of the colors of the blue and the smoke. It's a damn good scary scene. I love it.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
I am choosing this one because it's a take on one of my favorite sci-fi TV shows, Doctor Who. It's from 2018 Halloween, and it's the motion sensor lawn kill, where the light is cutting in and out. And if you know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you know about the Weeping Angel. Shout out if you know. But it's going black. Homie is like, hey, Mr. Johnson, what are you doing? He sees the light, he's getting closer, and then he's just like right there. And then he impales this poor teenage boy on the spikiest medieval gate known to man, and just leaves him there like a fresh rack of lamb. So yeah, I got to go with that one.
Rack of lamb.
Not only is the stalking awesome and the way that they do it is clever, but the payoff. You impale him like your Leatherface in the meat locker or something and just leave him there.
Good choice, dude.
All right. That's a good choice. Coriander, how about you?
I think for me, it's got to be Tina's dream and her death.
Okay.
Her boyfriend there is trying to save her and he can't. And he's like, what? He doesn't know what's going on. And you at the time first seeing it, you don't know what's going on. So you're like, what is, this is crazy. And I'm going to say that.
All right, man, for this one, this is so difficult. Okay. I just want to throw that out there. And I've got 3 that are in my mind and they're from both franchises. But I kind of think I know where I'm gonna go with this. I am going to, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Annie's death in 78 because that got me. That one got me. And it's funny because when she goes to the car after she gets the keys and it opens, it didn't register. First time I saw it, maybe even the second time I saw it too as a kid, it didn't register, and obviously it didn't register to her either. And when she's whistling, and then she stops and looks at the camera, and bam, Michael, Nick didn't play around back in those days. He was spry. He was very spry. He got her so quick, and I love Annie as a character. That's a scene I want to shout out. It might be the scene I should pick, but I'm going to pick another scene instead. And it's more so because of the pain that was involved, the emotional pain. And that's at the end of Return of Michael Myers, when Loomis looks up those stairs and he says, no. I didn't know. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. What the hell? To see Loomis react like that was crazy. But then to see this little angelic child who you were rooting for this whole film and knowing what it meant with her dressed like that with the scissors, and then connecting that to Loomis and everything that he's been through and the way he portrayed himself in this film, it was like, it sent chills down. It still does when I watch it. It still sends chills, gets me goosebumps, and it's not because of the scare of a kill per se, but about what it means, the weight of the scene and the emotion investment I have in Loomis, but also in Jamie Lloyd, right? So I'm going to throw that out there kind of as a very inspired answer. Okay. All right. In the chat, let's see what these guys got. We got 48 likes. All right. Very, very cool. Let's see. Sarah is saying it's scary anytime Freddy goes really dark, like in the remake when he's telling the Jesse character that after the body dies, the brain stays alive. So he's got 7 more minutes to play. That was a great scene.
Love that line.
It really was. Yep. Alan's going with Michael chasing Laurie throughout the hospital in H2. Julie is saying Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the hospital scene. Yeah, that was really good. I wish it wasn't a dream though. But if you know, you know. Let's see. I just want to see if I can grab a few answers here. Let's see. Rachel saying the scene where Tommy's looking out the window and sees Michael carrying Annie's body. Yeah, that was a good one too. Was a good one too. All right. Okay, I know you guys have a lot of answers. We won't get to them all, unless you super chat. But Julie said, "I pretend that it was not a dream." There you go. There you go. Good for you. MK saying, "Yeah, Jamie and blood with the scissors. The mask was creepy. The scene was far more unsettling than anything nightmare." Okay. Wow. Okay. Gene is heading out saying, "Have a good night." Thank you so much, Gene. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Okay. Next category, Eric. The more important franchise between the two franchises, when you think overall, what they've done, and what what they mean, and so forth, which one do you think is the more important franchise, and why?
More important franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's really tough, the way to even look at it.
It is. It's really tough.
Okay, I'll throw you a curveball. I'm going to look at it this way. I'm going to go with Elm Street, and it's more important with the way it kind of launched a lot of people's careers.
Okay.
Because if it wasn't for Nightmare on Elm Street, we could possibly not have Johnny Depp. We also had Patricia Arquette. We also had Lawrence Fishburne. I go on and on and on. So I'm going to look at it as an acting category, with careers and stuff. I think it's more important for that. Now, don't get me wrong. We all know about Jamie Lee Curtis, but she also did a couple other movies in 1980, like Prom Night and
she did a lot.
Terror Train.
Yeah, Terror Train. So she was still a scream queen, even if she didn't get Halloween. So I'm looking at it that there was more to come from Elm Street than there was Halloween in that aspect.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
I'm gonna go Halloween because Nightmare on Elm Street wouldn't be here if Halloween didn't come first.
All right.
And some people could say, oh, it still would have came and this and that, but I mean, Halloween was there, and then Friday was there, and then Freddy was there, and there's DNA that's taken there and changed, switched around. Obviously, this Freddy can speak, Michael doesn't speak, but I got to dance with who brought me, who was first to the dance, at least out of these guys. And I know there were other, horror movies that were before Halloween, but Halloween for me is that perfect design of the slasher, the scream queen, final girl. There you go.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
I have to go with Halloween also. It's something that, because I didn't see too many horror movies as a kid, but Season of the Witch was one. So that brought that franchise into my life real early, whether I liked it or not. And yeah, I mean, it's my favorite final girl ever. And yeah, I mean, Killian said really great things too that I completely agree with. So yeah.
All right. Okay. For me, there's a reason that you could say either one of these franchises, and they're different reasons, because I think, and it's true, especially of the Trinity in the 80s, they were handing off the baton, and each franchise helped the other and helped horror in general. But if I have to pick one, I got to go with Halloween. And here's the reason why. Because Halloween showed filmmakers, what they could do with a small budget and a decent idea, and Carpenter was so instrumental in that movement with this film. And then obviously, if we just look at timeline, and it is what it is. I mean, history is history. If we go who went first and who went second, it is what it is. But Halloween, helped Friday the 13th become what it was, which obviously opened up the door for all of these slasher films that came about like left and right. I almost did a slasher film back in the day. So it's like everybody with a couple of dollars was doing it. And that obviously allowed, Wes to realize his dream with this fantastic franchise, which obviously took things in another direction. But, with Halloween, it influenced so many filmmakers. Without Halloween, who knows if we had gotten Scream? Kevin Williamson was hugely inspired by Halloween. So many filmmakers were inspired by Halloween. Rob Zombie himself. It's just crazy to go down the list. So I've got to edge this out to Halloween. But obviously, Elm Street was integral in taking it to a new level in the late 80s and making these villains even more iconic, with Robert leading the way with his charisma. So, okay. All right. Real quick in the chat. Hey, we're at 51 likes. Thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate that. And you guys have some really good answers. Elm Street's going with Nightmare. Rachel is going with Halloween. We gotta divide here with these guys. It's too funny, but it's awesome. It's awesome to see. All right, next category, the It Factor. The It Factor. If you have spent time with us during the Great Debate series, which we're really happy about, and hopefully going to be starting up our new edition of that. We talked about the It Factor, which is basically overall the entertainment, how much fun you have with the product, how much rewatchability does it have, and so forth. That's what the It Factor is. With that in mind, Eric, which franchise has the greatest or the greater It Factor?
Oh, for me, 100% it's Elm Street. First off, it helps when a franchise that has a killer has a personality. And I understand Michael has his rage moments, but Freddy, when you compare the two, Freddy's the one with the personality over Michael, hands down. The creativity with the whole the idea of the dreams, I love that. And say what you want about the later entries in the franchise, a lot of it is still just fun for me. And again, when it comes to It Factor, rewatchability, like you say, I could put down any of these Elm Street movies and sit down and enjoy it. If it's on TV, when I'm doing something, I'll have it on in the background. I've said it before, certain Halloween movies, I have to be in the right mood for. I'm not going to, watch the first two or even the Rob Zombie ones if I'm not in that type of mood. You know what I mean? So when it comes to It Factor, what draws me in more, Elm Street.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you? Which film has, or I should say, which franchise has the greater It Factor?
This is tough because I'm trying to look at it from different perspectives. One of these franchises I watch every Halloween. The other one, never. I don't. One of these is more fun because there's more charisma, but also has more jumping of sharks and stupid silliness. One has a talking protagonist with and the other one does not. One has a feeling of the town and the holiday that just brings me glee and joy at this time of year. With all that being said, there's no lying here. I'm going to go with Nightmare, primarily because it is fun to watch Freddy do his thing when he's not becoming a Looney Tunes character. He can be scary. And I've said this before on one of our previous shows, definitely check out our playlist talking about the Nightmare series. I love when he can still be dark and funny. And so shouts out to Dream Warrior and shouts out to New Nightmare, because those two, the juxtaposition of both of those is just amazing. Demon, super dark, but yet still a little funny in Dream Warriors. So
okay, all right, you're going with Elm Street. Okay, Coriander, how about you?
If you're talking about rewatchability.
Yeah, rewatchability and entertainment. Which one is
entertainment?
Which franchise is more fun?
I get it. I get it. Obviously, A Nightmare. Just the first movie, I love. The third movie's great. And there's a few more I can name that are really enjoyable, but the rest are just no. I'm all set. And that there, when it's on TV, and if it's the first one, I'll always stop and watch it. But if you're talking about like Halloween, and I can watch Halloween, and if it's a certain few, just like A Nightmare, no, I can't do. But usually they play the right ones, and it's just, for me, it's more rewatchable. So
okay, all right. And your mic is fixed. I don't want to jinx it, but holy crap. For me, this is tough because I enjoy both franchises. Now, both franchises have entries that are not, they don't hit the mark, and we all know which ones those are. If you've been following us, you know what I'm talking about. But overall, I have to give this to Elm Street, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Robert, even in the films that aren't good, I still can enjoy Robert, even if it's sometimes poking fun. With Halloween, for the lesser films, I've got to reach to find that enjoyment. If we're talking about, you guys know which ones. I won't get into that, but Robert really makes a huge difference in the Elm Street franchise, as you would imagine, because he talks, he's using his charisma, his charm. So I've got to edge this one out to Elm Street for the it factor, because of the fact that even in the lesser films, I can still have fun. I can still have fun with it. So, all right. Real quick too in the chat, just to catch up with these guys. MK going with Halloween. Troy's in the chat. Okay, what's going on?
Hey, Troy.
So if factor is Elm Street, hands down. Okay. Rachel agreeing with Elm Street. Okay. Hey, thank you. All right. Let's see. Scott is going Halloween all day, every day. All right. Let's get down to business villain. All right. I hear you. Okay. Next category, as we start to wind down, the film with the best characters. Out of 22 films, which film would you say has the best characters? Eric, we'll start with you.
Now we're just talking single film, right?
A single film. Yep.
Okay. Jeez, man. I'm gonna go with Dream Warriors. Because they're so likable overall. Even the ones that we don't really get a lot out of, like Philip. He's in the movie 10 minutes, no pun intended, chopped up, you know what I mean? From here and there. He's very likable. Even the nurse who doesn't believe that they're seeing Freddy Krueger, she was really good. So she does her job. She's an antagonist, but she's not a bad person. You know what I mean? The Neil character, there's some, like, I've had my problems with Nancy in this and that one, but the scenes where she's really good. And then just all the kids in general, the way they're likable. Some are really funny. They band together. They like this little band of misfit family type of thing. Gotta go Dream Warriors.
Okay. All right. Kill. How about you?
This is tough for me. Because Dream Warriors obviously popped in my head, but then Halloween 2018 popped in my head with the family dynamic, the mother-daughter, the grandmother-granddaughter dynamic, the antagonist to Laurie Strode dynamic. It's just a lot of stuff there. This, the crazy doctor that's being taken over by the evil, the asshole boyfriend, the sheriff. It's a lot of great characters in there and great actors doing it. And and then obviously with Dream Warriors, yes, there's a lot of great characters and they're doing good for what they're given, but there's not as much depth.
Okay.
I'm surprised I'm actually doing this. I'm going 2018. Just for that depth of family drama mixed in obviously with PTSD. It's just, I mean, it's like I'm sitting here while Eric was doing his and I'm listening to him, but I'm also just thinking in my head, like, I want to go Dream Warriors, but how deep was Kincaid for me or Joey for me? And I love the camaraderie of all those characters, but the depth that 2018 had, I got to go with that one just slightly.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you? Oh, she might be muted.
Yeah, she's muted.
She's muted. Real quick in the chat, this gives me a chance to catch up to those guys. Rachel is saying Dream Warriors, Nancy's great. The teens are charismatic in their own way. The mysterious nun is a great reveal. Yeah. There you go. Amanda Kruger. Sarah's going with Halloween 4. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good choice.
Very cool. Troy says Dream Warriors for me. Okay. Let's see. Million saying I'm tied with 78 and ends. All right. Cool. Danielle is going with the original Elm Street. Okay. All right. Very, very cool. Coriander, you there? Oh, maybe not. Okay. For me, this is tough, man, because there are a couple of films that are just they just got great characters, man, and great character moments. And Kill, you made some good points, but I gotta admit, man, at the end of the day, when it just jumped into my mind, I gotta go with Dream Warriors. I gotta go with Dream Warriors, and I think the biggest reason why is because I mean, yes, we didn't get like super in depth with a lot of them at all,
Mm-hmm.
but it was almost like everyone just added that little bit to the overall vibe of the film, which was a really good vibe character wise. Like I enjoyed those characters, and then you add Nancy on it. You got the Sax in there coming back, John Saxon. That's always a plus. Craig Wasson was great as Neil. I enjoyed him. So just overall, this just edges out the other two in my mind. It was close, but yeah, I got to go with Dream Warriors on this one. All right. Let's see. Just want to check out the chat real quick here. MK is going with H2O. All right. Wow. Zed Education saying Halloween for the win. Okay, which one though is I guess means 78. Scott saying I'm leaning towards Dream Warriors. Okay, also leaning towards Halloween 4. I'm torn on this one. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It is tough. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. The Virgo saying this is a really good matchup with the two franchises. They both bring something. Absolutely. These are top tier franchises. No doubt at all about that. To me, when I think about it, the thing about these franchises is, again, like I was saying earlier, they've helped each other so much. They really have. And at the end of the day, man, I mean, you just can't deny it. So, all right, next couple of categories, we're going to run through these really quick. This should be interesting, Eric.
Okay.
So we're going to start off Lori in 78 versus Nancy in 84. Who gets the point?
I like them both, but there's something about Nancy that I like more. I like that they're both, the good girl, air quotes, the good girl. But I think what it is, and a lot of people like Lori because she defeats, air quotes, defeats Michael just by finding what she has on the ground and just making use of it. I actually like the fact that Nancy researches this. She's prepping for this battle. And a lot of people, they pick on it like it's Home Alone and stuff like that. But I just like that. I really like how she prepares for it. And she knows what she's getting into. She figures out how she has to bring him into the real world. You know what I mean? So she's putting 2 and 2 together, figuring out who this guy is. When she figures how she has to deal with, she figures out her parents were involved, and that they're basically the reason why this is happening to her. I think she has more to deal with than Lori does. Not knocking what she has to deal with as well, but I like Nancy a lot more.
Okay, all right. So we've got Nancy down for you. Okay, Kill, how about you?
I like them both. And I agree with Eric on how Nancy researches and all of that. But Lori is a babysitter, and she didn't abandon her ward, and she's able to think on the fly. She had no time to prep for anything. This dude has been stalking her behind the bushes, playing peekaboo and land shark like all afternoon. And all of a sudden she notices like her friends are dying around her. Like, what's going on? Let me go protect these kids or this kid, and so forth. And she does it by the skin of her teeth. So for me, it feels a little bit more organic, like she barely won. She wasn't able to do a Batman and prep like that. So, I got to give it to Lori.
Okay. All right. For me, this is tough, man, because both, like I said earlier, these are great final girls. And I mean, you could go either way and you're not going to be wrong, at least for me as a fan. But when I look at both, and I love both of these final girls, but I'm also going to edge it out to Lori. And the reason I'm going to do that is because of the fact that, she is on the fly. There's multiple situations. And I mean, Nancy thinks on her feet too. There's no doubt about that, right? There's no doubt about that. And I love Nancy. I truly do. But Lori, man, I mean, bro, she was doing some stuff. I don't know if I would have been able to figure that shit out, man. I mean, in the closet with the coat hanger. I mean, it's just some great stuff that she was able to do, all the while worried about Tommy and Lindsay. Like, that's the thing for me, is like, you got a whole nother universe of concern that's clouding everything that you do. And she was able to handle it. So I'm going to edge this one out to Lori from 78. Okay, Coriander, who would you choose between Laurie Strode from 78 and Nancy in the original Elm Street?
Oh, man. I mean, Nancy was so smart. And I mean, that girl took Freddie on and pretty much did what she had to do, But I mean, Lori, like you said it, Night, she was taking care of 2 kids and they're not even her own, you know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, just, I don't know. Plus, like I said, she's my favorite final girl, so I'm kind of biased, but I mean, she went through some shit, I'm not saying she, didn't, I don't know. I don't want to defend my answer, but there you go.
Okay. All right. So you're going with Lori. Okay. All right. In the chat, we got people going back and forth. Hollywood guy coming in with a super chat saying I like them both, but Nancy for the win. Okay. So thank you so much, Hollywood guy. We got 2 more points for Elm Street. This is this is tight, man. I don't know. Woo, we're almost at the end here, man. So definitely, if you want to help a franchise win, get your super chats in. We are almost done. Sarah's saying I prefer Lori overall, but 78 versus 84. I got to go with Nancy. All right. Okay. All right. Next up, and we're going to go through these real quick as we wind down to the last few minutes, guys.
Sure thing.
Lori and H2O versus Nancy and Dream Warriors. Who gets the point, Eric?
Lori H2O. I've said it many times that that's my favorite Lori out of the entire franchise. I've also said it many times. I kind of think Heather Langenkamp at times seems like she's phoning it in.
Okay.
That's no disrespect to her, but that's just my opinion. I think they're both dealing with PTSD. They're both trying to help, whether it be family members or, I guess you would say just kids that she cares about. I just think Lori deals with it, much more. Plus, Nancy, again, I said it before, she falls for the oldest trick in the book. I always take away points when she falls for the whole daddy, you've crossed over and it ends up being Freddie. Yep. No, sorry. She should know better. It's a guy when she's still asleep, anything's possible. So,
okay.
Lori.
All right, Kill. How about you?
I'm gonna go Nancy, Elm Street 3, because she's essentially Professor Xavier. And she, I mean, I mean, Lori's a mom of Josh Hartnett, and Nancy's Professor Xavier. Kind of no disrespect to Lori, because obviously she, went into hiding, changed her name, thought it was over. Mr. Happy drove cross country riding dirty. It's not over yet. I want to kill your son. I want to kill you. I do agree with what Eric said. Nancy falling for the oldest trick in the book was bad, but I still love Nancy in 3.
Okay. Real quick too in the chat, we got Makeup Mom in the house. What's going on? Saying hey to everyone. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. All right. We got vid inquiries in the chat. Welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. Coriander, how about you? Who we're gonna go with?
Yeah. Lori in H2O is top notch. I mean, she's kicking ass. She chops his head off. And well, we all know, the bullshit that comes after, but yeah, man. I mean, I have to give it to Lori. Yeah.
All right. Okay. For me, this is tough, man. I think both characters were great. I could go one way. I'd like to go one way, but there's no lying here. I got to give it to Lori, and I do think that this might be, and it probably is Jamie's best performance as the character. There's just so much great stuff that she did. The finale was fantastic. When she yells his name, you can feel it. You can feel it, and it was like Laurie Strode grew up into a woman, and Jamie Lee as well. You know, it almost felt like there was a parallel between the character and the actress, and it worked out so well for the movie. It's the strongest part of the movie easily, and it's a good movie. It's a good movie, but I'm gonna go with Laurie in this. No disrespect to Nancy in 3. I love her in 3. When I saw her pop up in the movie, I just like, yes, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, they brought her back. I was so happy, guys. Legit. I was so happy, but I got to edge this one out to Laurie. Real quick in the chat, Sarah's coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. Much appreciated, saying Laurie and H2O. Good Lord. Okay, we got another 2 points for Halloween. All right. Very, very cool. We are rocking and rolling. Oh my gosh. Obi-Wan Nancy. Rachel, that was good. All right. Next up, we got to run through this quick. Laurie in 2018 or Nancy in New Nightmare? Eric, real quick, just only your answer.
Real quick, Nancy, New Nightmare. I've said 100 times I don't like Laurie in 2018.
Okay, Kill.
Laurie 2018. She is badass.
All right, Coriander.
Laurie. Yep.
Okay, for me, they're both good, but I got to go with Laurie. Both had great performances, but I just went out to Laurie. That dinner scene alone was just, it was literally heartbreaking to see her go through that. It really, really was. Okay, so guys, we are almost at the end. So I just want to throw this out here now, because usually we don't get a chance to get into it too deeply. But if you want to send in points to one of these franchises, now is the time to do it, because we're going to run through these last 2 categories, and it is going to be like quick silver. And Eric, if you can kind of keep track of that for us as well, because I'm going to be moving fast. I won't be able to really keep a look on everything as much as usual. Okay, so here we go, guys. Eric, Michael Myers in 78 or Freddy in Dream Warriors? Who gets the point?
Freddy in Dream Warriors, kind of like Kill says, he's the perfect mixture of scary and funny.
All right, Kill, how about you?
Freddy 87, perfect picture.
Coriander, how about you?
Wow, man.
She said wow.
Wow, man.
Well, that's tough. That's tough.
It is tough.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna give it to Michael. I'm not gonna cave.
Okay. Well, it's not about caving.
It's not caving.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay. So for me, and I love both of them, but there's no lying. I have to give this to Freddy. Again, this to me was the peak of what Robert could do and did in the franchise. It was absolutely fantastic what he did as this character in Dream Warriors. Okay. All right. Real quick, too, in the chat, just to catch up, Elm Street coming in, $5 super chat. It just says Nancy. Wow. All right. Thank you so much. So there's 5 points to Elm Street. This is going to be crazy, man. I got to count this all up too, man. Rachel coming in also with a super chat saying Laurie Sarah Connor Strode in 2018. I love that. That was great. 2 fantastic characters. All right. So we're going to put the $5 to Halloween. Okay, guys. Let's do this. This is where we're going to pretty much just put it all out there. Final category. Eric, which franchise are you going with? We're going to choose one and only one. Elm Street or Halloween?
Elm Street. I enjoy those movies a lot more than what I enjoy from the Halloween franchise.
Okay. Kill, how about you?
I'm going with the franchise that's still going.
You're all right. God. All right, Coriander.
I'm gonna, concur with Kill.
Okay. And look, there's no lying here, and I love Elm Street. But once we got near the end, look, man, we started to look. I have no time for Bugs Bunny in a horror movie. Okay, that's all I gotta say. So I'm going with Halloween. You guys knew we were gonna do that. I mean, franchise versus franchise. I'm gonna choose Halloween. Okay, real quick too in the chat, just to catch up with everyone. Elm Street coming in again with wow, I don't know if I've ever seen this. An $8 super chat.
A little bit more, yeah.
Hey,
I don't know if I've ever seen that. You could do that.
there you go.
Saying 1428 Elm Street all day. That's what I'm talking about, man. You're all right. Much love, man. Sarah's coming in with a $2 super chat. Halloween, less unwatchable entries. All right, so we've got another 2 points from Sarah. Rachel coming in. Final super for the night. Throw the points to Halloween. $5. So that's 5 points. Wow. Okay. This is absolute pandemonium. Let's do this. We gotta count this up. This is gonna take a moment. Eric, we're gonna start with you. I'll tell you. So Coriander, I'll let you guys know when I'm ready. But Eric, let's start with you.
Oh, Jesus, that directed towards me?
Well, because you always say, "Are you ready?" Eric, give us your final thoughts and what this interesting episode is and has been, and what it might be for the future.
Take 15 minutes.
You got it. This was I always say it's a lot of fun. This was a kind of an interesting concept when me and Knight were shooting texts back and forth with each other. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't realize how hard it was with some of these categories. Favorite character in both franchises, like he said, 22 films. Who's the one character you like the most, and stuff like that. But I also like how I say I like how sometimes we have to find the good in the bad movies when we have those battle worlds. I like when we have to put the extra effort into something like tonight. You really have to rack your brain. And then maybe 3 categories later, you wish you would have said something different. But, what you said is what you said. It was a lot of fun. I loved the challenge. Both great franchises overall, despite the peaks and valleys, as we say here. I'm not saying we are, but I would enjoy returning to this concept of a franchise versus franchise in the future. Go ahead, Kill.
Well, I really enjoyed this. This was some tough categories, tough time pressure to think about it, and obviously we're not going to remember every little aspect or kill or scene or character. But I think we did a damn good job. But you can't go wrong with both of these franchises. And I know I'm a little shit, and I get a little snarky with my love for certain franchises. But there is no lying here. There is no lying. And truth be told, out of the holy trinity of Jason, Freddy, and Michael, Michael's still going. Go figure. Who'd have thunk it years ago? Who would have thought out of those 3 that we'd be, having Halloween Kills, a few years ago, and it's not over yet. Bureaucracy aside, the suits aside, I know there's a lot of red tape and limbo for both of the other franchises, but Michael's still here. He's still strong, and he's here for us. Coriander.
Knight mentioned not too long ago about how he wouldn't want Bugs Bunny in his horror movies. Well, I just have to say, Saturday morning cartoons, Bugs Bunny, there was some Halloween episodes where he was, pretty damn good, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And if he popped up in my horror movie, I would be okay with that. But yeah, this was fun. It was, interesting in which we would choose, and I think it would be fun to do another franchise against, franchise. Do I have to keep going?
Okay, dude. Okay. So we've got the scores. This is absolutely crazy. And it did go back and forth. The one thing that one day I'd love to do is show how the scores, almost like a graph, how they kind of fluctuate, because that's the fun for me as I'm counting it as well, because I'm looking at how it's going one way and then it might go another way and so forth. And it really did. There were a couple categories that really went back and forth for both of them. So that's always interesting to me too, just as a geek type of thing. But anyways, okay. So we have a final score. We had a panel score of 34 to 44. Okay. And we had a final score for the winner of today's franchise versus franchise episode. We have a final score of 69 to 83, and the winner is there. It is. There it is. Michael Audrey Myers. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. The chats came in and helped out too. But yeah, it was. It kind of happened near the end, like halfway through. This was actually leaning towards Elm Street, and one of these days I might do that, like for a graph. That would be so cool to show how it fluctuates as we go. But yeah, the winner, 83 points to 69 overall. Halloween, bro. This was fun, man. This was a lot of fun for you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing this, especially on a Sunday night, which it looks to be like it'll be our new night for Battle World. So I just want to put that out there as well. Oh shoot, real quick in the chat, we had another super chat come in from Tom. Well, thank you so much. Saying my favorite Halloween movie is Season of the Witch. Not a popular opinion, but I love it. All hail Cody Leach brought me to this channel. Well, thank you so much, man. Nice. We love talking about horror films, and obviously Cody's a friend of the channel too. Love when he gets a chance to hang out with us. So thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate that. And let's just do one more clip. Thank you so much, Tom. We'll do one more clip as we start to end out the show. And again, sometimes you just need some help from those who know what's up. Here we go.
We're fine. Bullshit! No! You son of a bitch! Shut up! Go to your room! Back the fuck off!
All right. Tom, thank you so much for jumping in. I don't know how long you've been here, but we appreciate it. If you haven't seen this whole stream, check it out from the beginning. This was a lot of fun. And I agree, guys, we might have to do this again. I'm just saying, wink, wink. So for everyone in the chat, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let's continue the conversation. We couldn't get to all the comments because you guys were just working so hard. Way too many to keep track of. But make sure you hit the like button. We appreciate that. And we will catch you guys next time. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Cheers.
Up, church.